In my Mobius setup, review and comparison video, there has been a couple of questions from subscribers around the latency. Now the latency, when you're talking about first person video or FPV, is the delay between the camera seeing something and it appearing on the screen on either your goggles or the ground station that you're using to look at the image. So I thought the easiest way to actually show you what the delay is like, because all cameras have a delay, just a case of how slow or fast they are. I thought the easiest way to do it would be to set this up with a little FPV transmitter, have it by the side of my little ground station, and then do something like waggle my finger in front of the lens and see the delay between the live action and it appearing on the video screen. I'll do it with a couple of versions of firmware in case there's any optimization with the later versions, and hopefully that'll answer those that were asking the question. So let me put some kit together and I'll come straight back. So we've connected all the equipment up now. We have our little 25 milliwatt transmitter with a little dipole aerial that's connected to the dipole on top of the transmitter itself. Just connected to that one single battery that's running both the screen and the little transmitter. And we've got the good old Mobius over here. This is version 1.2 of the firmware. So the simplest way for me to show you the lag is if I just waggle my finger in front of the lens. Very scientific, but what I'll do is I'll actually use the video editing software to work out how many frames there are between my finger moving on the Mobius and it appearing on the diversity screen. But you can see that there is a slight lag, but it's slight. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to update the firmware so that it's the latest version, and we'll come back and we'll try it again. Okay, so I've just put it all back together. The camera is now running version 2.25 of the firmware. We'll do the same finger test. So I've done the analysis now of the version 1.20 and 2.25, and it's a pretty consistent number. Looking at the video and the frame rate, every frame in the editing software that I'm working at the moment is about 40 milliseconds, and it's 5 frames delay on both firmware versions between me moving my finger and that same motion showing on the screen. So that's 5 lots of 40 milliseconds, so it's 200 milliseconds. So it's 0.2 of a second is the lag in this particular test between me doing something on the camera and seeing it in the goggles, which for most FPV flying is going to be absolutely fine. So hopefully that answers the question from my subscribers about the latency. Please like, subscribe, and happy flying.